Chapter 2. The grand halls of heaven's palace shimmered with 1,000 iridescent lights, the air alive with music and laughter. Tonight, the graduating class celebrated their ascension, their laughter echoing off the marble pillars and vaulted ceilings. Alice and Charles, hand in hand, navigated the throng of celestial beings, their eyes wide with wonder. "It's like stepping into a dream," Alice whispered, her green hair catching the light like spun emeralds. "More like a fairy tale," Charles corrected, his auburn hair a fiery halo in the shimmering light. "Just look at that fountain. It's made of pure starlight." Their eyes were drawn to a figure standing near the stage, radiating an almost unbearable charisma. Elliot, with his midnight black hair and eyes like amethyst fire, was the epitome of divine beauty. Beside him stood Tyron, the fate god, his shockingly white hair and silver wings a stark contrast to Elliot's dark allure. "He's even more breathtaking in person," Alice breathed, a touch of awe in her voice. Charles, ever protective, felt a prickle of unease. "Don't get too close," he warned, his voice low. "There's something about him, something not quite right." But Alice was already captivated. Elliot, sensing her attention, turned, his gaze locking with hers across the crowded hall. The world seemed to tilt, the music fading as their eyes met. A smile, both seductive and predatory, curved his lips. "Excuse me, brother," Charles muttered, pulling Alice away with a determined tug. "We need to find Carty." Weaving through the crowd, they spotted Carty, his golden-brown skin gleaming in the light, surrounded by a boisterous group of friends. He was laughing, his hazel eyes sparkling with mischief, but a shadow crossed his face as he caught sight of Tyron deep in conversation with a figure shrouded in darkness. "What's wrong?" Alice asked, noticing the shift in his demeanor. Carty forced a smile. "Nothing. Just palace politics." But his eyes held a troubled glint. He knew Tyron. He knew the darkness that lurked beneath that serene facade. And he knew with a chilling certainty that whatever Tyron was plotting, it boded ill for the realm. Meanwhile, Elliot, with a grace that belied his predatory nature, approached Alice and Charles. "May I introduce myself?" he purred, his voice a silken caress. "Elliot, at your service." He bowed low, taking Alice's hand and pressing a lingering kiss to her knuckles. Alice blushed, flustered by his attention. "Alice," she stammered, "and this is my brother, Charles." "Charmed," Elliot replied, his gaze never leaving Alice. "You are even more radiant than I imagined." Charles scowled. "We should really be going," he said, trying to steer Alice away. But Elliot was not easily deterred. "Nonsense," he insisted, his voice laced with charm. "Stay a while. The night is young." As they chatted, Celeste, Elliot's mother, watched them from afar. Her eyes, cold and calculating, missed nothing. She saw in Alice not an ally, but a conduit, a vessel of immense power waiting to be exploited. She would bind Alice to Elliot, enslave her to their will, and use her power to reshape the heavens in their image. In the shadows, Tyron continued his conversation with the mysterious figure. "Everything is proceeding as planned," he murmured. "The Fae goddess is under our spell." The figure chuckled, a sound that sent shivers down Carty's spine. "Excellent. Soon, the universe will tremble before us." As the night wore on, the palace thrummed with an undercurrent of tension, a silent battle waged beneath the surface of celebration. Alice and Charles, oblivious to the dark forces swirling around them, laughed and danced, their hearts light with the promise of a new beginning. But the shadows were closing in, and their carefree innocence would soon be shattered.